Photographer of the Year, let's hear it for Dan Shelley, Shellda Photos.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Shellda Podcast, where today's a little bit extra of a special episode. This is the first time I've ever had an international guest on. So Nick, no pressure, but Nic Rippel of the New Orleans Hurricanes, welcome to the show from halfway across the world. How are you, man?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing good. It's really cool to have you on. I think for people who don't interact with a lot of people internationally, you can go through this weird, almost like psychological thing of, wait, what do you mean you're 6 hours ahead? Like sometimes, depending on the timing, I could be talking to you from what yesterday is, and you could be talking to me from tomorrow. It's like, it's a really weird concept if you think about it.
It is.
And I'm sure you have to go through that too, because a lot of, your team obviously is here in the States. It's like you're always having to talk to people in off hours. It could be morning for you and night for them still. Like, talk to me about that whole experience. What is that like?
Yeah, it's funny. I have to wait until they're awake sometimes. Usually it's Mike Brown. He's awake first. He gets up pretty early to go to work. So yeah, he's the first one, always responds to my messages. Got a little head start.
It's good that you have that. Do you ever catch yourself like in the middle of the night waking up and like almost anxiously checking your phone to see if anyone has messaged you?
Not really, no. But when I wake up, there's usually the group chat exploded, and then it's like I have to go way back in the chat. It's like, what are they talking about? Okay, that's where it started, and then I will catch up, and then I have 6 hours when they're all in bed to read it all. And
I'm sure most of your team is going to be watching this. Hopefully they do. If they do, maybe what they should start doing is around whatever time you wake up, somebody should like create a TLDR, like, hey, Nick, for when you see this is the summary of the chat.
Yeah.
That's great. Talk to me a little bit more about the Hurricanes. It's been such a joy from my perspective over the last few years, being able to almost have like intimate access and be in the pits with you guys and be on the field with you. And I've really grown to be a huge fan of the Hurricanes because it's a blue collar mentality. It seems like it's a true family. Like your pit staff is amazing. There's a lot of family members that are there. So talk to me about what it's like to play for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, you basically nailed it. Like, it's a big family, and we're not just saying that. We are a family. And like you said, we're a blue-collar team, and there's no egos in the team, and we all just want to win for each other. Sometimes more than we want to win for ourselves. Like, we don't want to let our teammates down because they are family.
They really are. And I think you hear that a lot in paintball in the recent years. I've had some of the folks or the guys on Dynasty on earlier this year, and a lot of them, now that they're in the latter part of their career or they're a bit older, that selfishness is gone. Like, a lot of them don't want to win for themselves. They want to win for the guys around them.
Yeah.
And like, that's just true. A whole different mindset.
Yeah. And that's what it is. Like, this year, when Mehdi started to coach us, he's been around since I joined the team. So I know him for the last 3 years, but now that he's coaching, we're all some of us staying at his house, and when I'm not flying straight to the event after practice, I'm staying at his house for 2 or 3 days, and he said, you're part of the family now, you're a Hotard, and that's really how every single one of them would treat me. And yeah.
Was that a special moment for you, like almost validating in a way that you're not that you necessarily made it, but just to have somebody say those words like, hey, you're a part of us now? Like, what was that experience?
Whoa. Before we go any further, I just have to give a quick shout out to some show sponsors that have been with me on this podcast journey. First and foremost, I just got a text message from Alex Fragi of Hormesis. Huge shout out to Hormesis for being with me from day one of the podcast. But they just let me know that my headband that released a few weeks ago, the Shellda Photo Series one, the one that I've been rocking for the past few weeks, they're running low on quantities of these. So if you're interested in grabbing one of these headbands before World Cup, head over to Hormesis' website right now and grab these while you can, because there's only a few of these left. And then secondly, of course, ProDNA came on recently, and man, it's been so awesome working with ZP and Travis and Callie and the rest of the guys of ProDNA, and of course, Infamous. I've been really enjoying some of the ProDNA gear that they've sent me recently, and I can't recommend it enough. And so if you're looking for some gear to wear maybe to and from the field, these of course are their dry fit shirts that they came out with recently. They've got some cool racing shirts that they just came out with. And of course, now that we're getting into the fall season, the hoodies that they have, I can't recommend ProDNA enough. And then, of course, last but not least, bfpgear.com. My goodness, they have been absolutely crushing the game this year. We're weeks away from going into one of the biggest sales of the year in the paintball industry. So stay tuned to bfpgear.com, not only on their website, but their Instagram, because they're going to be dropping some news about the giveaways and about the deals that they're going to have. And I'm telling you, I've seen an inside look at it. These are deals that you're not going to want to miss because they're going to go so fast. So head over to bfpgear.com on Instagram, grab them a follow, and show some support. All right, back to the episode. Enjoy.
I mean, I had that feeling the very first moment I stepped on the field before I even made the team. When I went over to the tryout, like they included everyone like they are family, because they appreciated everybody to come out from wherever they came. I mean, me and my friend, we came 10 hours from Germany, which was the furthest, but they appreciated everyone that just came out and just wanted to be part of the team and took time to join that team. And that's just their mentality, and fell in love with it the first second I came to LAX.
You hear that a lot. I've heard a lot of people talk about LAX, not only just the field, but just the organization. And a few weeks ago, I actually had the opportunity they hired me to shoot one of their lines at USXBL.
Yeah.
And I felt the same way. Like, all the guys kind of took me in as like a family. And, you know, it was cool to be around Grayson because obviously he was a huge story in the last few years, and to be able to take photos of him on the field. It was just a family environment. So I totally felt kind of that same feeling that you had.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a big following at the field. Drew Bankston, he's an awesome person. He's cooking for us after practice. His barbecue is amazing. And yeah, just the whole LAX team, Team 13, it's all family. Like, they're hanging around. They help us in the pits in practice, and everybody's coming up saying, hey, how are you? How has it been? How was your trip? And it feels like they really care. Like, it's not just a phrase. Like, it's something special in New Orleans.
Yeah, that's amazing. You said something that I want to kind of poke at a little bit, because I hear a lot of players here in Texas, right? You know, Texas is obviously a huge state.
It is.
To drive from Paintball Fit, down to Houston's at 8 hours? It's crazy. But I hear a lot of players here when we talk about, hey, this team's having tryouts at this field. You hear a lot of like, it's too far. Like, I don't want to drive that. But you had the thought a few years ago of, hey, here's the New Orleans Hurricanes having tryouts. I live in a different country across the world. What went through your mind of like, maybe I have a shot to go fly halfway across the country to go try out for this team? And if I make it, I'll still be all the way across the world. So I won't be there for all the practices. Like, talk me through that thought process of how you thought you could do that and juggle all of that.
I mean, I had nothing to lose. Like, I can only win. And even if it's just experience, if it's something in your life you want to do, I don't want to sit and regret it one day. And I came over for World Cup in 2022 with the Luckies, and we did pretty good. So I was like, that's my dream since I'm 12 years old. I want to play at the highest level there is. And then it was coincidence. It's my mentor here that had the field close to me. He said, have you seen the Hurricanes are doing a tryout? I said, I don't know, because I was scared. It's a risk. It's a lot. It's money. I don't really like. It's time. I'm not the biggest fan of flying, and it's like, maybe. And then 2 days later, my friend said, "Oh, the Hurricanes are doing a tryout. Have you seen it?" It's like, you're the second person this week telling me, "Have you seen the Hurricanes are doing a tryout?" It's like, maybe we should try it. It's like, "Do you want to come with me?" He said, "Oh, yeah, let's check work on Monday." And then we both checked work. Said it's all right. And then we booked the plane ticket and we left.
Wow, that's what a really cool story. I think you hear a lot of people talk about things like that where it's like, oh, I didn't want to do it, but like this person said it, and then this person said it, and then it felt like destiny, or it felt like it was manifested in that moment.
It was. That's really how it felt. Yeah.
Do you believe in that at all? Like, do you believe in manifestation or manifesting anything?
I guess if it happens, you will just like, yeah.
Of course I manifested it.
Yeah. But no, not really.
No.
I do believe if you do good, you will get good back in return at one point in your life. It's not happening instantly, but
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, more positives lead to more positives. I resonate with that.
Yeah.
Take me back to that first World Cup. Because I think you said it was 2022 was when you came over the Luckies, and then 2023 was your first World Cup on the pro field.
So with the Luckies we played Pro World Cup there's the 4 European teams that came over.
Yeah, sorry, I meant your first year like with the U.S. pros, because it sounded like that was your dream, was to be over here playing for like one of the U.S. teams.
Yeah. The tryout was in January 2023, and then I think March 2023 was the Sunshine State Open, which was at the same location as World Cup.
Yeah,
that was my first pro event with the American pro team. Yeah.
That's wow. So you and I have kind of similar stories, because that was my first year being on the pro field as well. And so like, I remember standing at the field at that Sunshine State Major, and that was my first time on the field. And I kept thinking, one, it was overwhelming, but two, 4 or 5 months from now, I'll be standing in the same exact spot at my first World Cup. And I just like, I was so overcome with like all these thoughts and emotions. And I imagine that was probably something similar for you to know that, one, you had landed on a U.S. team, but then in a few months, that dream was going to come true, that you were going to be playing in World Cup for one of those teams.
Yeah. It was, I've been a World Cup 2017 and played semi-pro with my German team back in the day with Kamenetja, and it was at the same location, so the surrounding everything felt like I know it, but it was a different feeling.
Isn't that crazy? Like, I think you hear so many people say that, like, we usually play an event there every year, but it's the same exact surroundings, but it's the feeling that's different about playing at World Cup.
Yeah. And I hope we're going to break through that feeling not being good at World Cup this year.
I mean, you guys have been kind of on a tear this year. It's been really cool to see. I think last year when the news broke that, Mike was leaving the Hurricanes for Dynasty, I think obviously rumors always spin up, right? Like, well, what does this mean for the Hurricanes? Like, and a lot of people, I think, wrote you guys off, and you weren't going to have success this year. And it seemed like that pulled you guys a lot closer. And I feel like I see that.
It did. And it was amazing that Maddie and Justin stepped up and became coaches, because they've been around with most of the team the last 20, 25 years. So they were always there, and they were really close with the team.
Yeah.
And then they committed to be with the team all the time and invest the time and everything. I enjoyed it a lot, actually.
Yeah, I think those are a lot of moments for teams where the outside the circle of the team, everyone thinks it's chaos. Everyone thinks like everything's falling apart. But on the inside, it's like the core of the team. That's almost where like you guys get closer, it feels like, where you guys almost have a tighter bond. You've seen that in sports a lot.
Yeah, the outside world is talking a lot, no matter what, and they don't really know what's going on in the team. There were so many rumors and stuff. Some of them became true even before they were becoming a thing. So, yeah, and it was a hit when Bianca left the team, but
sure.
I was so happy for him because he got that's a one in a lifetime opportunity, and you can't be mad at him. He called every single one of the team, and he asked everyone how we were feeling about it, and we all gave him his blessing. And I love Bianca, and he's also part of the family. Like, he not just became a coach, a friend, and he became family, and so only the best for him.
Yeah, and I think that's where my respect for the organization really skyrocketed, because when I had Mike on right after that went down, he talked about that interaction. And then I think at the first event that we had after that, which was Tampa, I had talked to a lot of you guys in the pits. I was just like, hey, what was it like? And it was so cool to hear that everybody I talked to said, hey, you know what? We are so happy for him. Like, he's got his dream opportunity, but we're still the Hurricanes. Like, we still have us. And like, everyone almost like did this thing where they're like, look at what we have here. And like, they kind of pointed to the rest of the players. And so it was so cool that the mentality within the organization was the exact same of like, hey, we're happy for him. He's doing his thing, but we're bringing it back to us right now.
Yeah.
One thing that you had mentioned about flying over, of course, for events and practices, that I don't think people realize how much goes into traveling, unless you're playing, NXL events every year. For me, here in a few weeks, we'll be going to a World Cup, and that morning it's a long morning, right? Like I get up at 2 or 3 in the morning to get the 5 o'clock flight out of here, and I'll land in Florida 4 hours later, right? And I land, and I'm like, oh man, I'm kind of tired. But you've got to go through customs. You've got to go through, like, talk to me about that whole travel experience. Because one, you said you aren't a fan of flying. And so two, to put yourself through that for this. And then the second part of that is you don't have to just deal with the whole traveling, but you also have to deal with a time zone change and then instantly jump right into being a top athlete when you land.
Yeah.
How do you do all that?
Yeah, now it's my third season, so I'm kind of got used to it, and I've pretty much seen all the airports that I'm landing at, so I know how everything's working, that I have to go through customs, pick up my bag, drop my bag again, go through TSA again, and then find the gate. And yeah, usually I land at the same airports all the time, so I know where to go and how everything's working. But it's not fun. Yeah, I leave super early here. Most of the team is still awake, and then it's like 16, 17 to 20 hours sometimes.
Wow.
From the time that I leave the house until I'm at Maddie's house. It picks me up from the airport.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But I'm usually the guy that's like, I'm better too early at the airport than being too late.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm always 2 hours early at the airport and not stressing about it, and you get used to it. It's getting better every single time. So yeah, but the time zones, I would say I have a pretty good healthy sleep schedule in general. Like, I don't stay up super late or anything. I'll wake up early every day to work. So I go to bed at like between 9 and 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And I wake up at 5, 6. So I have a pretty good schedule, and it depends on what time I land. I know I won't sleep. I'm trying not to sleep as much in the plane as I probably want to, because I'm trying to trick it right away. Like I stay awake and then I land at 7, 8 p.m. It's like I'm just gonna stay awake for 3 more hours and then I go to bed and hope I will sleep through the night. The only problem is like the inner clock in your body. It's like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Damn, you're awake, Nick.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah, last time I was able to fall back asleep. It's like, nah, not getting up yet. But yeah, I'm pretty good at tricking that.
Yeah, I think, I've heard both sides of it from not just players, but like even, people in like the corporate world that have to travel a lot for work. Like some people will try to keep the same sleep schedule. So like when they first land, they try to keep that same schedule back home. But then I've heard the opposite where people do what you're doing. Like they try to trick their brain and their body into, hey, let me kind of push through this long first day. That way, when it's night here in the States or wherever you're traveling, you can kind of get that circadian rhythm back to, well, let me now sleep at night, like what I'm going to have to do for the next 4 or 5 days here.
Yeah, that's what I'm usually trying. Of course, I'm super tired the first day at practice, and it's more that I'm hungry and I'm starving than I'm tired. When we have breakfast there, it's like, damn, it's already noon. I should have lunch right now.
You should have already had 2 meals by now. Yeah.
Yeah. Like my belly is yelling at me, fuel me. But
yeah. Do the coaches know that? Like, do they pick up on that and then not almost run you as hard the first day while your body's still adjusting?
Nah, it's all right. Like, I've never asked for anything special, or I don't think it's necessary. Like, I will just go through it, and if I'm at the point where I'm like, oh, I'm crazy tired, if I'm keep going, I might hurt myself. But that never happened before. So,
gosh, yeah, because those not obviously when you add travel, that alone can be long days. But then the second part of that is like when you're at the field, maybe you have the second set of the day, or if you're playing on Sunday and you've made it, deeper into the tournament, those can be some really long days.
Yeah, they are long, but yeah, you need to make sure you rest and sit in the shade, not in the sun and burn out and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Hydrate and but the team's taking care of that pretty good. Stu, as always, he has snacks, he has salt tablets and liquid IV and all the stuff. Like, and especially training in New Orleans where humidity is crazy and you're sweating, like, we're taking care of that.
Talk to me about what goes into that, because you're spot on. Training in different parts of the world, there's something to that. It adds a different element, right? Where maybe if you're playing paintball in Denver or in Colorado here in the States, the altitude level is different. Or if you're playing in New Orleans where the humidity is just brutal, how do you prepare yourself being halfway across the world for these events? Like, what are you doing in between events to prepare?
I'm trying to do as much sports and playing paintball as much as possible. That's about it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do something every single day.
Yeah, and that's where I kind of wanted you to go with this, because every time I open up Instagram and I see your story pop up, I'm like, man, I feel like Nick's always playing paintball. And what's cool about it, you have, and if people don't know it, go follow Nick on Instagram, but you have what looks like an indoor field near you where you're playing a lot of the reball, I think they call it, where it's the paintball that doesn't break.
The rubber balls,
Yeah, so talk to me about that experience of being able to, one, have an indoor field, and then to also be playing kind of year round. I remember last year in the winter you were playing and it was crazy cold there. I remember you were talking about that story.
Yeah, I'm blessed with the situation right now. I have my home field now. They support me and they want to see me on the field as much as possible. They love my story and they're just pretty cool guys. It's King of Kings, Paintball Schwalmstadt. That's about an hour and 15 minutes away from here. They have an outdoor field. They're running the the DPL, the German league now, but they also have an indoor paintball facility and an indoor reball facility. So if they have rentals in winter, I usually go into their reball. And every Sunday, we have our own reball facility, which is 10-15 minutes away from me. It's an indoor gym that's used for gymnastics, and schools are during the week they do their sports there, and we have a time slot on Sunday where we have it, and it's just us in there, and yeah, we have our own sub-air bunkers and blow it all up and play one-on-ones, do drills, crawling, snap shooting, like all the fundamental things.
Now, when you say us, who else is there training with you?
A local team, Fight Club.
Okay.
Their manager is he's running the whole thing. Yeah.
Do you know what division Fight Club is?
I would say D1 in America, probably.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah. One of their players is the guy flew out to the tryout with me, and he is currently playing semi-pro for Virginia Vendetta. So, and he's practicing. Wow. Yeah. So he's practicing with me most of the time too. Okay. And he's on Fight Club. So the level's pretty high.
Yeah. The reason I ask is I was at the field, I don't know, this weekend or the weekend before that, and I was in a conversation with a few other pro players, and I won't name the names, but we were talking about practices, and they were saying that they don't like to practice down. It's like they don't like to practice lower division teams because not that they don't want to help, but when you're in the pro league, there's certain moves or anticipated moves that pros make just for the normal cadence of the game that a lot of divisional players won't have the skill set to make those moves yet. And so when you're playing down, it almost throws off your game as a pro because like the move that you should be making, they're not making. And so that's why I was asking like what the division was that you're practicing at home to see if it is having to like keep your skill level where it is or if you're having to play down a little bit.
Yeah, no. And we're doing a lot of drills, so sometimes I'm there on my own. So there's no one else, but for shooting breakouts and snapping and crawling and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You don't need someone else for it, basically. So
yeah. What advice would you give to somebody who lives in a different country? Because it's going to happen. Like I've got listeners from 40 or 50 different countries to this podcast. So somebody's going to be listening to this in a different part of the world that wants to play for a pro team here in the US or maybe, over in Europe. What advice would you give to somebody who wants to try to make it as a pro in a different country?
Just go for it. Aim for the stars. And if you don't try it, you never know if you had the potential to do it. Yeah. I mean, you need to reflect yourself if you're like in that range, if you can do it. Like, are you on that level yet? But if you're like, I think I can compete, and you're honest to yourself, then just go for it and just try it. And like worst case, you will just learn something. Go to a tryout. Like there were people that were not at the level, but they got feedback. They had the opportunity to practice with us. They learned some drills they can run on their own, and we told them what they need to work on and stuff. So worst case, that's what you got, and you still got something from it. So just give it a shot.
That's great feedback. I hear that a lot from pros. When I ask that question, it's you've got to be open to feedback. You've got to be open to growing and to like having people tell you that, hey, you've got to change this. Has that always been the case for you? Because I feel like for a lot of pros, it hasn't, where there was a lot of like selfishness of somebody could saying, hey, you've got to snap this better, or like you're doing this wrong. And I think the ego gets in the way for a lot of divisional players to take that feedback and grow and listen. So has that always been that way for you?
It always has been that way for me. But as you say, it's the ego that's usually in someone's way.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about the Hurricanes. That there are no egos on the field, and that's why we learn and grow together. And yeah, that's what I love about them.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't found the thing yet, but there's got to be something. Maybe it's a book, maybe it's a podcast or a speech. There's got to be something out there where divisional teams can either use or listen to like kind of help that ego within their teams. Because I hear that a lot from players playing on the pro level is you have to remove the ego. That's almost one of the top three things I think almost all pro players would say about being in the league is you have to remove your ego.
Yeah, that you have to do it in every aspect of your life if you want to grow. Like, if it's good, productive feedback,
Yeah.
take it and learn from it, and just be a man and just learn from it.
Yeah. Ego work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a few things queued up here, and this is one of the things that you don't know about. But over the past few years, I've taken a few pictures of you, and I think that the first one that I took that I think really meant a lot to me at the time, I looked up to Philip Swindle from Hormesis, that photographer. Like, he does phenomenal work.
He does.
He does a lot of work during like golden hour, so during like sunrise and sunset. And I think this was at Chicago. So I'm going to pull this picture up I think this is from last year, I believe. This is a picture of you late in the day.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I was really playing around with like the sunset. So like when you first see this picture, what pops into your mind about that moment?
It was Chicago. You're right with that. I think it's sunrise, so I don't think we had late games.
I'm pretty sure this was I think this was a later day one.
It was?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, you can see the intensity in my eyes. It's an amazing picture. It's like, it's just you and your 5 bodies on the field, and that's what I love so much about paintball. I read that this week or last week, like, paintball is therapy because you forget everything. Yeah. Was that on your podcast, actually?
Yes. I mean, I think we've all in the industry have said that at some point, but we really dove into that when I had Tammy Adamson on.
Yeah.
We talked about like the therapeutic side of paintball, and I've had a few guests on where they said when you're on the field, I mean, Cato may have even said it too, but when you're on the field, you literally have to tune everything out.
Yeah.
Actually, I bet I know where you heard it. Did you listen to the Maddie Marshall interview with Yosh recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, Yosh
that's probably where I got it from. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a truth to that where when you're on the field, like you literally, no matter what is going on in your life, maybe you're in a bad relationship, maybe you've got some things going on at work, maybe you got a maxed out credit card, whatever it is, like you can't think about any of that stuff.
And you don't, like, as soon as the 10 seconds happening, everything around you is just gone. It's literally just your 4 teammates, yourself, and against the 5 others on the field. And everything's gone. It's just so quiet and
So speaking of
right in that moment.
Yeah. So you segued this perfectly. This is a picture I think from earlier this year. You're about to obviously leave the start box. What can you expand on that a little bit more of when that buzzer goes off or when you hear 60 seconds? Do things go quiet for you? Are you thinking about like what your job is in that moment on the field? Are you talking to yourself in that moment? Like what goes through your mind?
So a little secret, like at the 30 seconds before the first point, well, sometimes we do it before the first point, but sometimes we do it just doing the game. It's usually Daniel Camp. It's like he's saying deep breath on 3, and then he's counting to 3, and all 5 people on the box take a deep breath, and we just enjoy the moment being on the field with your brothers, and yeah, you just want to win. It's a goosebump moment.
I love that so much, right? Because like your paintball is so chaotic. A lot of teams are like in the pits, they're getting each other fired up, you know, like they're swearing, they're yelling, but then you have this like you're moments away from shooting at each other, and it's, hey, let's take a breath and like almost have this peaceful release of a moment. Like there's something beautiful about that.
It is. It truly is. And I mean, you've been in the pits with us, and we're always calm and everything, but our huddles, Stu's speeches,
oh man,
there's something special. Like everybody has tears in their eyes, and we do live for those moments with everyone in that circle, and we're all happy to be there, and it's just very special.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, his stuff is it's almost like, man, is he preparing for this? I feel like he has like notes that he's using for a huddle, but it probably just comes to him in the moment. But his speeches are so good.
Yeah, they are. I don't think he has anything written down. I think it's just his inspiration for the love of the game, and it just comes out of him.
Yeah. I've got a few more questions before we jump off the field, because I've got some questions there. You're in a really unique situation. You know, a lot of people in paintball, they have family members that are part of the industry. You know, like I'll have Travis Lemansky is coming on in a few weeks, and of course his wife works in the industry with him, so they get to travel to the events together. But I don't think there's anyone else that's in the same spot as you, where you can be on the pro field playing the highest level, and then your partner, your girlfriend, is also on the field with you taking photos. And so for folks that don't know, your partner is on Instagram. She goes by Moxoff, I think is her Instagram handle.
Yeah.
What is that like, being able to, one, travel to the events with your girlfriend who lives she travels with you everywhere, but then to have her capture moments of you while you're on the field? That's got to be wild.
It is wild. Yeah, I don't know, it's a special, like you said, it's kind of unique, but that's how I met her. I met her through paintball photography. I met her at that World Cup in 2022. She was doing that. She was doing that way before she met me, and that kind of is her own thing. Like, I don't know anything about photography, and so that's her own business, and she gets booked by teams, and she made it all happen on her own. I'm super proud of her. She applied at the NXL for a pro media pass and submitted photos, and her work's amazing, so she got the pass, and yeah, it's just pretty cool to have her on the field with me.
Yeah, it's got to be such a cool moment. Like, of course, you know, you're in the zone, you've got a job to do, and she, of course, has a job to do as well. But is there ever a moment where you guys like kind of look at each other, you know, before or after the game, and like kind of give a little, hey, I see you?
I mean, she's giving me a good luck kiss before the game in the pits, and then I take my mask on, and that's about it. I don't see her anymore, and she's sneaking around, hiding.
As every photographer should do. That's when you're sneaking around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, that's incredible. I wouldn't do you justice if I didn't talk about your background. So for those that are listening in on Spotify and Apple Podcast, jump over to YouTube if you can, because Nic's background in his office is incredible. It looks like there's just trophies on trophies and medals and plaques. Like, tell me about what all that means to you when you step into your office and you see that.
It's my one-room apartment, actually.
Okay.
I mean, the hardware only means so much to you if it's not with the person, you know? It's reminding you of the moments you had with the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Love that. What about that jersey?
Yeah, that's my first pro team jersey. I have it signed from everyone on the team, everyone on the coaching staff, they're all on it. Got the 3 Hormesis coin, my first pro golden coin. I know I'm not supposed to frame it. I'm supposed to duel it.
It's okay.
But I got 3. But I got 3. So I thought I can keep 1. And there's actually 2 more because it's the one on the red one is the one. If you win a 1-on-1 on the pro field, and I actually won a 2-on-1. It's a blue one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty special. And the Hormesis headband. I mean, since I joined the pro league, Skinny Kevin Breathauer from by the time used to coach Dynasty and Breakout Spa, the team where I played for in 2022. He introduced me to Alex, and
wow,
yeah, Alex hooked me up with the headband, and he's treating me super nice ever since. And of course, I'm a big fan since I started playing, so it was good to meet him and talk to him and get his support, and yeah, that's why I framed that headband too.
What is it like now having that interaction where you almost had this like, holy cow, I used to look up to this person, to now you're playing against him every event?
It's pretty unreal, but it's more about the person next to the field. Like, these are the moments I enjoy even more, like talk to him on a normal basis and ask stuff and like meet the people. Like, I didn't met anyone nice since I'm playing in America. Everybody's treating me nice, and they're all super gentle, and I just love to meet new people. And it's really the moments off the field than the moments on the field. Like, on the field, you put the mask on and your enemies, and as soon as the game's over, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, you're friends again, even though you're playing against your best friends sometimes.
And sometimes business partners too, right? Because like there's a lot of people in the league who have companies that are rivaling each other, or also within the same company. And so it's like you have to have that switch of, hey, as soon as you step on this field, like, I want to put you in the dirt. And then as soon as you step off the field, we're hugging and embracing. Wow.
Yeah. After Vegas 2024, Alex actually came up to me and he asked me for trading my jersey with his. Yeah. That was a really, really special moment. And of course I have the jersey, and yeah, that was something pretty special.
Wow, what a like full circle moment from that first introduction to now having him ask you to trade your jersey. That's crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, Oliver, Kevin, Alex, Miko, Philip, they're all just super nice guys, and they supported me. I got the chance to get my own Hormesis Signature Series headband, which I never dreamed of at all. And it's just a blessing. It's ridiculous. Philip was actually the first one I met that, like, because he was doing work for the NXL in Europe.
Yeah.
So he was doing the headshots for NXL Europe, and that was after the first event where I played with the Hurricanes. And he was like, "Oh, you're Nick from the Hurricanes. Say hello to Bianca from me." And we took a selfie together, and I sent it to Bianca, and then Philip played with Bianca, and yeah, just a little friendship started there, and everyone's treating super nice. So
it's a big family, you know. It
is.
I think anyone that you talk to that is in the paintball community, we sometimes will only see each other 4 or 5 times a year, right, at NXL events, and maybe that 30-40 second interaction, it almost like the time stops in between events, and then when you see that person again, like the time picks up exactly where it left off.
It is.
It's crazy. There's nothing like it out there.
Yeah, I have that feeling sometimes when I go to LAX,
Yeah.
I'm standing in the pits and I was like, felt like I've been here yesterday, but it's actually been 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And it felt like I've never left. This is where I belong. This is where I want to be. It's home.
Yeah, I had that same exact experience at the USXBL Championship a few weeks ago. It was on Sunday, and unfortunately, LAX, they were knocked out. And so I was working with a local team here, Austin Oni, and we were standing in the pits at Paintball Fit. And I think there was a little bit of a delay, so it was pretty quiet. And I looked over at one of their guys on their staff, Scott Lopez, and I said, hey, think about this for a moment. You and I are going to be standing probably in the same exact pits 4 or 5 months from now when the first event of the next season happens in the same exact spot. And how much life will happen in between these next few months. And I saw him kind of go like, holy shit, that's kind of crazy to think about. But like, we'll pick up on the same exact conversation months from now, but so much life will happen in between that.
Yeah.
It's just a wild phenomenon to think about that.
It is.
Talk to me about, I don't know a lot of people know this, but you used to have a podcast.
I do, and we're actually starting to get it back. After World Cup, we're gonna record the first episode of the 3rd season. We did 2 seasons back it started with the teammate from Breakout. We were traveling together to Breakout, and we were talking and having those conversations about all the stuff that happened and all the paintball stories, and it's like, dang, we actually should record it. And then COVID happened, and he was like, let's just do a podcast. And he was listening to a lot of podcasts, and he did all the work. I didn't. I was just there. I was so lucky he did all of that, because he post-produced it, and it took him like 15 hours to cut every out, and
it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. And so he did that. We did it for 2 seasons. I think the 2nd season we had a 3rd friend joining us. So we were 3 commentators, and we always had a guest. And it was also not to forget about the German legends we had back in the day, from Syndicate and Instinct and all stuff like that. At one point, they all disappeared, and it's amazing in America that they have the Hall of Icons and stuff now to remember all those names. And luckily, they're all coming back and playing ICPL, and all the names when I started to watch paintball for the first time and saw all the 300 FPS Dirter DVDs and all stuff like that. So that's amazing, but we don't really have that over here. Paintball doesn't have that long of a history, and it's not as big as in America here. So that was also one of the reasons why we wanted to do it, to showcase people's story that I learned playing paintball from, and people that inspired me over here, so their stories won't be forget. And but Mao stopped playing paintball, and someone else just asked me recently, hey, do you want to bring the podcast back? I would like to do it. And so we did that. We found a location, and a good friend, an old teammate who is a digital creator freelancer, he hooked me up and said, do you want to do a video podcast? I will hook you guys up, and we're gonna all set it up, like 3 camera angles, microphones, and everything. So yeah, we're going all in.
I mean, if you're going to go into something, that's the way to do it, to go all in.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, he wanted to expand his the stuff he's doing. He's doing videos and all kinds of stuff, and he wants to go into the podcast section. And it's like, he offered that because he want to expand his horizon in that direction. And I'm super stoked for it.
That's amazing. Is the direction still going to be focused around like German paintball and the history of it?
I mean, the podcast is called All the Way. It was always for people that went all the way. And the last episode, I think, was in 2021. That's 4 years ago. And a lot of stuff happened since that. And we got to catch up on a lot of stuff that happened during the last 4 years, and then we will bring on OGs from Germany again. And
yeah, that's so cool. You know, when you said that, like, there's a lot of stuff to catch up on, my podcast brain goes, oh, that's like 4 or 5 episodes that you could film right there, and then you're already 4 or 5 weeks out.
Yeah, exactly.
What does Germany paintball mean to you? Because, you know, I hear about it from time to time, and there's a few guys here locally that they could have, you know, German heritage, but there's so much pride in them because, like, they'll have the Germany, you know, the head strap that I think JT came out with at some point, or like they'll do the ProFlex themed where it's the Germany colors. And so anyone that I talk to that plays for Germany or has Germany ties, there's so much passion around that paintball. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the reason why we did that is because a lot of the big teams, they just died and all the big names over here disappeared. But I do have that German JT strap. Todd Martinez actually gave it to me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I do have that strap. And in the first picture you just showed where the sunrise or sunset, I think I'm wearing that strap. You can't really tell, but I was wearing that strap last year. And
oh, cool.
I mean, it's not the same anymore. All the big names are gone. All the big teams. It's pretty sad, but I hope I can spark something, spark of hope or something to bring it back. And yeah, that's really my dream, to bring it back to a level where it used to was.
I think you're onto something. There's so much power in having a podcast. You know, I mean, you know this, we're doing it for 2 seasons, and I'm literally weeks away from completing my first year, you know, 50 some odd episodes. And every few weeks I'll have somebody that'll come up to me or send me a message, and it's something around, you know, hey, the guest that you brought on, I haven't played paintball in X amount of years, but like I saw that and it makes me want to play again. And that's here in the States, you know, and that's amazing. But for you to do that in Germany, where a lot of these players have, like you said, since disappeared, hearing that podcast is coming back, that might just be the spark to help bring other players back to the field that maybe haven't played in a while.
I hope so, yeah. It's bringing old people back, and I mean, the future is we have to bring more people to paintball.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's my mission, because I think a lot of people don't know how nice or what paintball is all about.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest issue, because people just don't know. I think if more people would know about paintball, they would know what it's all about, and they would get the virus, you know.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Good.
Yeah. Every time someone asks what I'm doing, and I'm saying I'm playing professional paintball in America, and they're like, "What do you mean? There are leagues?" And I was like, "Yeah, we have leagues over here, and it's the Major League Paintball in America." And they don't even know it's a real sport. And then they look into it and they look it up, and they're like, "Damn, that's crazy! It looks like it's a lot of fun." I said, "Yeah, you should try it." And then, yeah, people just don't know about it, and I think that's what we lack of doing, just promoting the sport to the outside world.
Yeah, you're spot on. You know, I work in a corporate setting, and I've got on my desk at work, I've got my 2 Summit Awards, you know, for being photographer of the year. I've got 2 editions of the Great American Paintball magazine, and I've got my, you know, copy of my book there now. And every once in a while, somebody will walk by and be like, "Hey, what is that?" And like I get to have that conversation of like, "Oh, well, it's paintball, and I'm a photographer in the sport, and it's a professional. I travel all around the country for it." And I think the same reaction that you're talking about, I always get wow, I had no idea about that.
Yeah.
And so even though it may not seem like a lot, just having those little micro conversations, you're planting the seed for like something that they didn't know was out there that existed.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
crazy because paintball is pretty big in America. You have fields everywhere. It's like the birthday party is like where people start to play. That's kind of your thing.
yeah.
And I think a lot of people did that, and it's crazy to me that still most of the people don't know about paintball.
Is that the entry point for Germany too? Is it birthdays into paintball?
We're getting there. It's still technically you have to be 18 to legally own a paintball gun.
Wow.
But,
so you actually have legal challenges to play. Holy smokes.
Yeah, exactly. But you can there are kids paintball guns that have lower velocity and that making the entrance easier, but a 68 cal gun you have to be 18 to own it. So, or I think even the kids guns you have to be 18 to own it, but then the parents have to own the gun.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you just go to the field and they offer like kids paintball, but kids paintball means like it's 16 or 14. I'm not 100% sure, and not all because they have the 50 cal paintballs, and not all the fields have two different kinds of paintballs and two different sets of rental guns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean, and then for a field, that's just adding more cost for the field to have all that extra gear too.
Yeah.
Holy cow. I didn't realize that in Germany you needed to be 18. I mean, no wonder why like the barrier of entry is harder. So you're not going to have a lot of players there. So we've got to get that law removed somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. That will be the best case.
Yeah, man. Let's jump off the field. One of my favorite questions to ask on this podcast for pros, because I think a lot of people look at you guys as you're living this rock star life. You're only playing professional paintball for a living, but I think a lot of people are coming to find out that pro players also work a full-time job, in between events, and getting ready for this podcast, we kind of had to move it a little bit because you're like, hey, I'm on call. Like I might get a call where I have to like jump into work really fast. So what's your full-time job?
Yeah. So I'm a wastewater technologist, but catching on what you said earlier, my Instagram stories, it just looks like I'm playing paintball all the time, and I'm riding my bike a lot. That's what I'm posting a lot too, and the gym.
And beautiful coffees that I'm seeing.
Beautiful coffees, and that's usually on the bike rides and stuff. I get that asked a lot because people don't realize it's just social media. It's like you show what you want people to see. Yeah. People text me, "Oh, you're living the dream. Do you even work?" Like I do live the dream, but I sacrifice a lot for it. I still work, and people. I mean, it's what you want people to see, but it's not fun to post work.
Yeah,
you only post the cool stuff. Yeah, so I'm a wastewater technologist. I'm in the lab usually and analyzing the wastewater. That's my 9-to-5 job, as you guys would say.
Yeah.
And once in a month I'm on standby call from Monday to Monday, and if something happens, I will get a message and then I have to go to work and fix it and make sure everything's running again.
So is it a lot of break down that job role? Is it a lot of testing the water for different levels to make sure things are safe, or what are you doing in the lab?
Yeah, you basically nailed it. Yeah. I'm testing the water so we won't kill any life in the river. The water has to be clean to a certain point. Like we have what's it called? Like the government is telling us how clean the water has to be, and that's what I'm checking.
Yeah.
And but I have to do much more than that. I'm analyzing that, but right now I'm on standby, and if a pump or something's breaking, I have to fix the pump too. Like,
wow.
I have to be an electrician and a mechanic and Yeah, but I learned it 3 years in school, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does that, so like when I hear that, you're always kind of on standby, waiting for that call. Like I'm obviously going to equate this back to paintball, right? Like you're standing in the pits waiting for your coach to call you into the game. Like, do you have any skills that translate back and forth, right? Because like if a pump breaks, obviously you're now at a time crunch to go fix that as fast as you can. So I assume there's a lot of pressure on you for that. Do you use anything back and forth from paintball to help with your job, or your job that helps with paintball?
Totally. Like one thing I've learned, of course, you're stressed and it has to happen fast, but if you rush it too much, it's just going to take longer. So try to take as much time as you need and then fix it with precision,
Yeah.
If you're just going to rush it and be in a hurry, it's like you have to pee and you don't find the keyhole. It's like, just take a breath and just find the keyhole and don't freak out about it. And yeah, that's what I said. Take the deep breath and relax for a moment. Remember why you're here and what the job is, and then execute.
That's so cool. Thanks for opening up about that, because I've seen some players that I've had on the podcast here recently. I had Chris Caputo on, who's a firefighter in New York City, one of the most stressful jobs you can have. I had, the guy last week, Nick Champion from Stealth Media, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. He was involved in some mass shootings and then became a firefighter. And a lot of these people talk about, like having these stressful situations when I'm on the paintball field, it actually helps keep me calm. Like it helps me breathe a little bit more. And so it's almost like there's a correlation where if your career or the field that you work in has some different stress levels, that it helps you on the paintball field during those really intense moments.
I think it was the other way around for me, because I'm doing that job for 8-9 years now, and I'm playing paintball for 14. So I think playing paintball helped me in my job not to freak out when the phone's ringing at 3 a.m. and you're like, holy shit, what's happening? I have to rush to work.
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So bring that to your next job interview. Like, hey, what makes you equipped for here? Well, let me talk about paintball.
That's funny, because I actually did talk about paintball in my interview for the job.
No way. What was the reaction?
Because the same reaction I always get. Because they asked, what are you doing in your spare time? And I said, I'm playing professional paintball in Europe. And I'm flying through all over Europe, Paris, Belgium, Netherlands, England, like everywhere. And they were like, what? That is a thing? And then like 30 of the 45 minutes were just me talking about traveling for paintball and playing paintball in a league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is where probably the most of your passion came out in the interview, I'm sure. So the word
exactly.
Really do. Yeah. It's a lesson learned. Talk more about paintball. Speaking about talking more about paintball, you had said something to me when we were preparing for the show that I had no idea about. And I'm like, holy cow, we have to talk about this on the podcast because it's such a cool story. And so I'm actually going to bring up a picture here and I want you to explain it as I bring it up. But you had mentioned that there was a paintball film that I think maybe George Fava shot and edited here in the past year or two, and you submitted it to a film festival. Is that right?
Yeah.
So talk to me about that and talk to me about this picture, because that's crazy to think that there was a paintball film in a film festival, and like what the reception was.
Yeah. So like I said, I think we all should bring out paintball more to outside people, and that's always my goal, and I want to grow the sport, and I'm a student of the game, so it's how I want to bring something back to the sport that gave me so much. I've seen like a German MMA fighter who's doing like he's pretty big on YouTube and he has his own vlog, and I watched it, and he was organizing that international sports film festival with a couple of people, and it's like, oh, damn, I should submit a paintball movie to it. And it's like, what can I use? And then I remembered the film that Fava did, which was incredible.
Oh,
And I
so good.
and then I texted Fava about the idea and asked for permission. He said, hell yeah, go for it. Let me know what you need. He was pretty supportive, like right away, and he did like the idea, and then he sent me the file. I submitted it, and damn, I thought I wouldn't hear back from them, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, we would love to have you here." They were impressed too. The guy I was texting emails back and forth was like, they were happy I submitted the video, because they didn't have a clue that paintball was a thing and that people travel all over the world to play paintball. And yeah, I was pretty happy and stoked that it happened. And yeah, it was in Frankfurt downtown. I remember it was at a big movie theater that I used to go with school and watch movies there. And it's downtown, right on the shopping street in Frankfurt.
Wow.
Yeah. It was crazy.
What would you tell that kid from like years ago who would go to those movies and say, hey, one day you're going to be standing in front of the stage premiering a paintball film as a professional paintball player? Like, what would you tell that kid?
I would probably just turn around and was like, shut up, man. That's not going to happen. Yeah.
What was
But it did happen,
okay.
and they were happy. The picture you just showed up were families and friends that came and supported me.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool, and it was pretty emotional for me. I cried the whole 15 minutes. I was just loaded with emotions. Yeah, and then the guy, because there were people that were not paintball related. Unfortunately, it was like this. It was on a Thursday. No, it was on a Friday, but still, it was like at 4 p.m. People were still working, and it was the second film that played that day. There were not crazy a lot of people, but they were good. There were a good amount, and then the guy that was organizing it, he made me come to the stage, and people asked me questions, and he introduced me and said like, "Oh, we're happy to have the film here. I had no clue, and I'm sure most of you didn't. Do you guys have any questions?" And then the people threw questions at me.
Wow. What kind of questions did they ask?
Like funny ones, like how big is the field? Is the layout changing? And
interesting.
How, and just in general, how it's played. Like I had to explain it's 5-on-5. You hit the buzzer on the other side of the field to score a point, and if you're hit, you're eliminated for that 1 point. And then yeah, just super basic questions, because like always, people had no clue, and they were all super excited. They were happy and seemed very, very interested. That was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, that's always a good barometer for me. In my real job, if I'm in a meeting and no one asks questions, it's like, ooh, okay, something's off here. That means people don't get it or they don't like it. And so when people are asking questions, that means they're engaged and they're interested and they want to know more. So that was a really good sign that they asked a lot of questions.
And they totally were, yeah. And then on Sunday, they invited everybody to a dinner, like a seated dinner, and they had like a little award show, and everybody that submitted a movie was there, and everybody was dressed nice in a tuxedo and stuff. That was pretty special too. And there were big famous people in Germany, like there was a famous reporter that's friends with Muhammad Ali and stuff like real sports people, like famous soccer players, kind of like your football players.
Yeah.
being with them and just like, yeah, we're on to something.
Yeah.
And if it's happening again, I might need a new movie to submit.
Yeah. I mean, reach out to Alex and submit one of the Hormesis ones.
Yeah.
You know, they've done
That was my thought too. Like, doesn't have to be me.
Yeah.
It's the Hormesis, all that matters. Damn.
Yeah.
They will be blown away by that.
Yeah, totally. There's a lot of emotion in it.
Yeah.
And well, thank you for doing that. You know, I think people hear that and like, oh, it's really cool, but I don't think people realize how much goes in behind the scenes of you researching this and like, can I do it? What does this mean? How do I get permissions from George to actually submit this? And then take the time out of your own life to go do that. So thank you, on the behalf of the paintball community and of course, German paintball, because it's little acts like that will help paintball grow in some capacity. So I hope you feel immensely proud that you took that leap of faith, because that's such an incredible honor.
Thank you. It was just, I don't know, it just felt like the right thing to do, and that's what I always wanted to do. So
yeah,
I didn't do it for myself. It just felt natural, and it's not work if it's fun.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, now that you have that checked off your list, let's look out 20, 30 years from now. Hopefully you're still playing in the league, even though you might have some gray hair. What does Nic want to accomplish by then in paintball? And what do you want to be remembered as in the paintball community?
Just the person I am right now, like as a fun dude, it's fun to hang around with, and yeah. I think 30 years from now, I hope I'm still playing. Maybe not at the highest level, but I hope I will still be around and enjoy. Maybe in 30 years, I have a 20-year-old son that's playing pro,
Yeah.
Maybe. That would be amazing. And just, even then, I hope I will just be an inspiration for younger people. That's always my big dream. And just help them go through, if they go through stuff, and just help them grow and become the person they want, be a mentor.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Gosh, what a beautiful answer. Not only growing paintball, but growing just people in general. I love that. I've got two more questions for you. One that I was really excited to ask you, because I think you and I had some conversations. Maybe it was earlier this year, maybe it was late last year. We had talked about the JT brought back the old red, white, and blue. Was it the fire or the flame jersey?
Yeah.
And for me, that was really special for me because that was the first paintball jersey I ever owned, 20 some odd years ago. And you were actually you actually showed me hand drawings of turning that jersey into like the Germany colors.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so cool. And then you actually had that print, like they actually made it for you.
Yeah.
It's like, talk to me about that whole experience. That must have been so cool for you.
It was pretty cool, and I'm so happy I brought it to life. That's right, I did draw it up. I had a picture of the old America color flame jersey, and I printed it out in black and white, and I just took a black, red, and yellow pencil and draw it out the way I thought it would, like it was in my head. I'm not the best drawer, so...
No, I remember the drawing, and maybe you'll send it to me, and I'll put it up here, like in post production. But it was really good. Yeah,
and it was an iconic jersey back in the day. And when I came through a picture of it, it's like, it would be actually pretty cool, because my first mask was a JT mask. We're now sponsored by JT, and it's just such an iconic mask, and just an iconic brand. My first jersey was a JT jersey, and it's like me representing Germany. How cool would it be to have a JT Germany jersey? And then I drew the picture, and Twister actually helped me. They made the design. Austin from Twister. I pitched him my idea. He liked it a lot too. He designed it for me. We sent it over to the GI. He just fixed the template, and there it is.
Wild.
It was pretty amazing, yeah.
That's
and again, without the help and support from others, it would have not happened. Stu helped me with the orders and everything. I did everything through Stu, and it's always a lot of people working in the background to make it happen.
Yeah, that's one of the special things about paintball that I hope, through this podcast and maybe your podcast too, that I love is you could have an idea, sometimes in the real world, and like there's so many different hoops and challenges it takes to bring that idea to life. But what I've learned in paintball is if you have an idea, go for it, because you can bring it to life. And that's where the community really steps up to help people. So like to turn your idea literally into a hand drawing, and then months later you're holding the actual jersey that you made, representing your country, is so cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I mean, like I said in the beginning, just you have to do it. Just the most important step is the first step.
Yeah. It's like you ride bikes a lot. I always equate it to that first pedal push is the hardest one, but like once
and it gets easier.
Easier, yeah.
It does.
Yep. I love it. Man, this has been such a good episode. I've been looking forward to having you on, and when I put your name in my Discord, I've had a few people like, "Oh, I'm a big Nic fan. Like, I can't wait to listen to that one." So this has been amazing. So thanks for coming on.
Thank you. That's good to hear. Thank you.
I do have one more question for you, and we were talking in the green room, and you're like, "Actually, I'm prepared for this one." So that's you don't know the question, but you know where I'm going with the segment, which is cool. Last week I had on Nick Champion of Stealth Media. And when I said that name, you're like, "Oh, he does all these other old school videos." So he'll be happy to hear that you recognize that. And his question is perfect for you without knowing that you are going to be on. But his question for you is, what is your favorite paintball video of all time? And then a second part of that, what about that video created that feeling inside you, or something that inspired you to either play paintball or to take your game to the next level?
Ooh, that's actually a tough one. I didn't know that was coming.
See, I told you this is usually the part of the interview where players like start to squirm a little bit. They get nervous.
No, it's just hard because there are so many good paintball videos, and I can't really think about one specific paintball video that made me want to play paintball. But I do remember Stealth Media from like, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago. So his videos were definitely there, and I watched a lot of it, and it inspired me. When I first kind of got introduced to paintball, Dirter was a big thing, but I didn't have money to purchase a DVD, so I just watched all the trailers from all the Dirter videos on YouTube, and I was 12 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was just watching the trailers on repeat then.
Yeah. They had a few at that time, and they did like showcase, because most of the Dirter DVDs, they had like different sections of highlighting players or events, and then they did like little trailer highlights of each player and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do remember a lot of that, like Oliver Lang, Nikki Cuba.
Yeah.
Yep.
Legendary
stuff
videos.
Like that.
That's
yeah.
Cool. One question.
I hope that answers your question, but
no, it does.
It's not one specific thing, but it definitely was a Dirter video. And like I said, back in the day, we talked about it in the green room. I think there was a homepage called Blacklist Videos or something. It was just paintball videos. And I was just a student of the game. I was 12 years old. I was not allowed to play paintball, and but I wanted to do it so bad, and I just soaked in everything about paintball, magazines, videos. I did my school apprenticeships at the paintball store here, and yeah, I just really loved the game from the first moment I got introduced to it. And
I almost wonder if there's something special to that where I go through this a lot with the different things that I get involved in, where I will consume so much media about it, whether maybe it's buying a new camera or trying a new hobby. I will just watch hours and hours and hours upon whatever it is. I'll read as much as I can about it, and I get so excited, and like it creates this energy build up in me where I just can't wait to do whatever it is for the first time. I wonder if that is what you went through as a younger player, since you weren't able to actually like own a gun and all of that. You were just so excited, had all this pent up, like, I just want to get out there and use everything that I'm consuming and play.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Wow.
Like, I remember the first, like, we were talking about being in a zone now when the 10 seconds happening.
Yeah.
Being able to play for the first time. That was a different zone I was in. Like, I didn't even know I had teammates. It was just
full on.
It's just, yeah.
All those clips of the others. Yeah.
That's what I always tell younger players. Like, you need to play a lot to kind of lose that and kind of get a feeling for your surrounding on the field, because that's very important. You need to lose the fear, and you need to be able to scan your surroundings and like get all the informations in and everything. Yeah. For the first time, people were talking, but you're not hearing anyone talking on the field, and yeah. to kind of lose that and listen to people and stuff like that. That's what you get from experience.
Yeah, it's repetition, right? It's just doing it more and more to where you're just not even thinking about it. You're just so calm out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Great advice. All right, Nick, pressure's off, man. You get to leave a question for next week's guest.
That's even more pressure. So are we going to tell the people who it is already? Do you have someone set up?
Sometimes like things change with schedules. But the next week's guest, it should be Philip from Hormesis, the photographer.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. Yeah, he used to play paintball, and now he's still balling pretty good. Every time he's posting something, I say, "Damn, you should be out there on the field. You shouldn't take pictures."
He's so good. It's like it's funny when Hormesis had their duel last year, and they were touring here in the U.S. Philip was obviously a part of the duel, helping film it and taking photos for it. But he played at the Paintball Fit event, and he was roasting people. He's a really, really good player.
He is, and he's practicing with Alex, and
he practices a lot with Chris Shear in North Carolina.
Chris Shear, yeah, exactly. I saw footage of him and said, "Put down the camera."
Exactly. Step on the field.
Pick up the gun. Yeah.
It
would be so fun to have him on the field.
Yeah. So your questions for him next week.
But we would miss his work.
Oh gosh.
So my question is, would you do everything the same? If not, what would you change? Like in your career, like would you do the same? Would you go the same path?
Wow, that's
what would you do different?
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for him to answer that, because he is. A lot of my questions next week are around being a full-time content creator, because that's what he is.
He is.
And like he's moved countries, so he's done content creation around the world.
He lived in Prague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, now I'm excited for him to answer that. That's gonna be a great question. Good job.
Thank you. It took me 2 days to think about it.
Well, it's paid off. It'll be a good one for sure. Well, Nick, thanks again for coming on. Like I said, this is one I was looking forward to, and it'll be so cool to see you in a few weeks. Here in Florida at Cup. Should be a really special event, and hopefully we see the Hurricanes going really deep into Sunday and stepping onto that podium late into Sunday night.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It was an honor to be here. And yeah, of course, see you at Cup and roll canes.
There you go. So you had to end it right there. I love that. Awesome. Well, everyone tuning in, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Shellda Podcast, and we'll catch you next week. See ya.